Hello everybody, welcome to another edition of EDU 600. This is Module 3, and right out of the chute I'd like to mention with Module 3 we have Qualitative Designs Part 1 over here and Part 2. So don't just do the first part, you need to do both parts. Now this is how I've organized the materials for this week. And you'll see in next week we actually have 3 different parts. So rather than combining them, I thought they were separate enough that I wanted to make them separate. The overview video, which you're watching right now, will be in Part 2 also. So what we're doing this week is we will be continuing our study of qualitative research. As you know, we're going to be moving from qualitative to quantitative to mixed, single subject, etc. This week, I'll get right to the nuts and the bolts. I'd like you to focus in on read chapters 4 and 5, spaced with special attention to 50 to 53, 67 to 69, and 79 to 91 in the textbooks. Once again, we're going to be studying qualitative research. We're doing it in a little bit different fashion this week, in that I'm not asking each of you individually to read something and then do a discussion post. I'm actually asking you to work in a group, and each one of you will be assigned one section of the research paper, and then you will post that. You will take the lead on that. You will post it. And then I'm hoping that other students from your group will discuss, critique what you wrote down as part of the discussion post. And I'll get into a little more detail. Now, one of the most important aspects of this is to give you a heads up. You will be writing a qualitative critique coming up. I'll show you the dates here. Qualitative critique. First of all, the article captures, the 6 of them are due on the 21st. Qualitative critique 1, which is based upon the article that you are reading this week as a group. So if you are in group A, you will be writing your qualitative critique on the article that you're reading as a group. So I don't want you to cut and paste what your group is saying into your paper, which is individually submitted to me, but it's a good time as a group discussion to bat around ideas. If you disagree with a group member, let them know. It's really meant to be a discussion. So if we were sitting in a classroom, I would probably have 3 classrooms set up. Group A would go to classroom 101, Group B 102, Group C 103. We're doing the same thing here. So what you're working on this week as a group discussion will be due on July 31st as an individual paper. So once again, we'll get into a little more detail on that. I could read chapters 4 and 5, focusing on those. Checklist to help you guide your discussions and will help you decipher the best way to approach how to evaluate qualitative research. Click on this, and what that will do is bring you to checklist for evaluating the process. Title of the study. Does it reflect the central phenomenon being studied, etc.? Problem statement, review of literature, purpose, data collection, etc. So you don't need to answer each one of these, but these are just guiding questions that you will use in deciphering qualitative research. Okay, let me go back. So here I am, I'm back. So there's the qualitative study, the evaluation checklist. I'd like you to take a look at the video from Jeff Beaudry, and there's also another video, or there's 2 other videos in part 2. So here's a video. It might be repetitive, but I want to make sure everybody has looked at it. Read and critique a qualitative article. See group assignments below. So, Group A, these are all of the students in Group A. To give you an idea, the article that you are reading is Adult Learners' Emotions in Online Learning. That is your article. Here's the link to the article. And in this case, Joe will be taking the section Research Review of Theory, Conceptual Framework. Corey will be focusing in on data collection. So the way we do this is, that's Group A. Group B, their article is Making It Facebook Official. As you can see, Katie's doing the first section, Robert's doing Purpose and Design, Crystal's doing the sampling. That's your article. Here's the article link. Group C. Now, we only had 5 members in Group C. So I'd like Jamie to take the Research Review of Theory, and coming down the list, everybody has a section to do. I'd like all group members in this group to do the final evaluation of the study transferability. If you remember, that's page 53 in our textbooks, and what you're looking for is thick descriptions, things like that. There's all kinds of methods to ascertain the quality of the research, and page 53 will help with that. So once again, there's the link. And there's also each one of these papers. I put them down here. You participate in one discussion forum this week, which you will be doing as your group. Group A, Group. And then I do mention the article capture assignment is due on the 21st. So let me just click update to make sure I I'm saving that. Okay. So here's where we get into the group discussion. You read the article, and the article, if you remember, is up top here. Adult Learners' Emotions for Group A. Read that individually, and then you will do, each one is assigned a topic. So what we'll do, I'll just give you a preview here. We have the actual group. You're going to do the same thing you've been doing every week for your discussion. Now, Group A, you have your own discussion forum. So Joe, he's going to post Research Review and Theory under the shell of your discussion forum for the group. He takes the lead on that. It doesn't have to be, Joanne may do the sampling portion early on. She may get to it on Monday, and Joe might not get to his portion by Wednesday. But I'd like everybody to have their original post. They're done by Wednesday. That way it gives people some time to critique it. Now, the importance of this is what people are writing in here will be used, the discussion you're having will be used to write your critique, which is critique number 1, which is due on the 30th. So that's why it's important that everybody participates. When it comes down to writing your qualitative critique, you still have to write your own sections. But Joe, being that he wrote the Research Review and Theory, he can use that in his paper. So I'll have more on that next weekend. So that's Group A, Group B, Group C. Let me update that. So I'm going to click on, Group C, article capture assignment. Let me just click on group number C. So this is taking me into the next section. Once again, Jamie's in charge of this section. Jamie reads the paper. He's in charge of taking the lead. What is the Research Review of Theory? If he needs to look at the checklist, you can. He comes down here, clicks on that, and it's the same that we've been using when you're doing your own post on a weekly basis. only Group C members will participate. This is a separate discussion forum. So that is it. That's part 1. And let me go quickly to part number 2. That's still part number 2. And in part number 2, we're still looking at qualitative research, but in this case, we're looking at ethnography. And if it's a different type of qualitative research, it's really where the researchers embed themselves in some kind of culture. It requires that they become it requires that the researcher becomes integral to the studies that the people that they're studying, the environment. Typically, they play a role of someone in that environment. So it's a little bit different. I have, once again, this is the overview video that I started with in part 1. We have 2 really good YouTube videos on ethnography. I'd like you to watch that. And then, in addition to your group work, I'd like you to read one of these articles on ethnography, and then I'd like you to participate in a discussion forum question. So, select one of the posted articles, critically evaluate the methods, data collection, and conclusions. Support your comments with evidence from the study, the course readings, etc. Please do not go into a lot of detail with this. I'd like you to focus in on the group work, and then from there come over into part number 2. And in part number 2, you're going to pick one of these articles, read it, and then quickly give an overview, critically evaluate the methods, data analysis, and conclusions. You don't have to go beyond that. Just focus in on the methods, analysis, and conclusions. So that is it from me. If you have any question, please let me know. I am here to help. And beyond there, I think we are all set for this week. If you would like to talk to me, send me an email. Feel free to do so. If you want to set up a Zoom meeting, I'm here to help. So I hope you have a good module or week number 3, and in the meantime, I hope you have some time to spend outside this weekend and with the beautiful summer weather. Good luck, everybody, and let me know how I can help. See ya.